You know what? Even though I was born into what's called a Christian family, a father is a pastor, and mother in the church together who had met in Bible college, it was picturesque. Seemed perfect, right? Until you know the details. But I'm not here to expose my parents. I honor my parents because of what Scripture says. Follow along. Thank you for coming to watch and listen. Life teaches us many things. If we have eyes to see and ears to hear. When I was young, because of the hurt and pain in my own life, I was very vindictive toward people because of the abuse I suffered in my life. And I thought, why should those people be allowed to get away with that? And I wanted to do something to get back at them. Because I wanted to realize them, especially the people that are big and strong and thought they could use that just to dominate people. You know, I've been the little guy all my life. Yeah, I grew up tall, but I'm still skinny and weak. But before I really knew the love of Elohim, I wanted to do things my way. I wanted to do things the way any of us do, in the flesh. And I thought, why do people do that? Why are they like that? Why can't they love? And, you know, when I was young, I was considered a nice guy then too. But I knew what was inside of me too. And I began working on that at an early age. And at one point I realized we're all basically in the same boat. All born in sin. I guess I was fortunate because I was involved with the church at an early age, actually at birth, but that doesn't mean anything because, yeah, I was born into a family where I had a father who was a pastor and mom who was going to church too, things like that. They met in Bible college, actually, and that sounds real good, doesn't it? And I do honor my parents. I'm not here to slam them or slander them because I do honor them. They divorced when I was about 4 years old. My dad got custody of my sister and I. And my mom married another man. She and him came to visit when I was about 7 years old. That's the last time I saw her. We would write letters until I was about 17. So I had to adjust to life because of that loss of my life. Now my mom, when he was just married to my dad and was with her, she was a very loving woman. I know she had problems of her own, like we all do. But I realized later, being born just because my dad was a pastor at the time. I mean, you got away from that, through the divorce, things like that. We are still responsible for our own salvation. We can't blame anything on our parents. We can't blame anything on the people who do bad things to us. And I'm going to say something very open, very strong. And this is something we all need to consider. Because of the past and trials I went through and stuff like that, you know, when people came at me that were, you know, hateful and not loving, things like that, I wanted to get back at them. I just had this part of me that wanted to get back at them. I don't know why that is. I'm not going to blame it on my parents. I don't know. I'm not Elohim. He knows. All I'm saying is that was something that was in me. And as I thought on things, I thought, if I do that back to them, I become like them. Now, people have different terms for people who are angry and foolish and things like that. But if we look at the animal that's called a pig, see, they're used to being in the slop and in the mud. See? And when my daughters were little and I took them to the fair, I showed them the pigs. And they were like, ugh. I said, that's where pork comes from. I won't get into that right now because the Bible does tell us not to eat it. Okay? No matter what you believe. It's never been changed. And I'm going to state it point blank. And then I'll leave it at that. I'll drop it for now. But don't eat pork. It's poison. Okay? Alright, so anyway. When I was young, I ran across a statement that said, don't argue with a fool, because the people watching won't know which one the fool is. Later on, I came across a statement that said, don't wrestle with a pig. You'll only get dirty, and the pig enjoys it. So I thought of those things. We can go with that mentality. Now, that's wisdom of the world, and those are some good words. But I thought, love is not involved in that. See? Because there's a better understanding than even that. Because when we love people, because the love of Elohim resides in us, that's where we can act in obedience to the Father. And this is the greater lesson. It's not about having the mentality of don't wrestle with a pig, because you'll only get dirty and the pig enjoys it. No, the words are true. Because the people who are combative, that lack love, things like that, yeah, people enjoy it. There's some people in this world that just enjoy the wrestling match out there, whether it's physical or just verbal or both. Some people enjoy that. They thrive on it. We can choose to walk away from it and still love that person. That's what Messiah taught us. And that's what I've had to learn. That's one of the hardest lessons of life. At least it was for me. And other people I've known, through observation, things like that, it's been hard for them too. So the greatest thing that we have to learn, even if somebody is considered a fool, a pig, or whatever, we never win them by acting in the way they do. That means that when we see the way they act, their bad behavior, that people may think about it differently. I thought about, like as I mentioned, why do people do that? Something's got to be shown to them. They need to learn a lesson. Okay, we never win them by reacting to them with the same kind of action that they gave to us, because all we do is reinforce their behavior, and we become like them. We become their victim. But you know what? Messiah told us to overcome evil with good. So when we have the love of the Father in us, somebody comes against us to try to hurt us, and we have that love within us, His love protects us, because without that we feel hurt, we feel wounded. But we can rise above that, because when we have the love of the Father, we won't feel hurt and wounded. We'll have love for that person and want to lift them up, because we know that's the thing that healed us. And that's what we need to experience. The love of the Father. Healing that he brings, that Messiah brought. Messiah represented the Father. Take hold of that. Because it's more valuable than gold or diamonds or anything. That's the very thing that will lead you into eternity. Thanks for watching. May the Master bless you greatly.